Hello. Hello. All right, that looks like it's picking it up. I'm not sure why it wasn't. Check one other thing. All right. I think it's good now. Let me know if it's good now. Yeah, I'm not sure why. You can hear now? All right, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure why I was doing that. I had an update earlier and I didn't restart my computer. So maybe that update caused the mic to bug out. MGRX on. Yeah, it looks like it's curling here. I was trying to say this earlier, but you wouldn't have heard me. I have a new setup here. I'm trying out Weeble. So I have a three-way combo now. We got Lightspeed, Thinkorswim, and we've got Weeble now. So Weeble, I'm going to be testing out the 5-second chart and the 15-second chart here. Weeble does update a little faster too, its refresh rate, just because it's getting a little more data coming in. So it's going to be slightly more accurate in that context. Or maybe not accurate, but just it'll update faster. See, we had a good bit of selling right here. So this looks like it was some kind of just false breakout here, then immediate flush. Okay. Just want to check, make sure everything still looks good for me. Yeah, I don't think anything else is wrong, so I'm just going to keep going with the stream here. BWEN, kind of crawling, but not very high volume. MGRX, probably the only thing to watch. But as far as gappers go, we have very little, actually, right? We only have MRSN, and this looks like a buyout. So we really just have SGBX and MGRX. And of the two, I still think this one looks like the better setup. They both don't look really that great, if I'm being honest. This one looks kind of like it's just chopping. News Catalyst is really strong. Launched Mango RX Direct and Peaches RX Direct to provide direct access to Z-Pound, ZepBound. I mean, it's an okay catalyst. It's definitely not a bad one. I mean, it's up 23%. That could honestly be reasonable. Keep an eye on this here to see. Today might be more of an adaptive day for me, just kind of getting used to seeing if I like this 5-second or not. So I'm kind of substituting the 5-minute down here for the 1-minute, because I still want to see the 1-minute chart. And I then have the daily still covering my face, so... See, that's the bottom right chart will be. That's kind of the configuration I'm going to try out for now. I might switch to 15-second if I feel like 5 seconds too fast pace. Or maybe, like another thing too is like if I'm this zoomed in, it might be hard for me to see the actual market context. So like I could try switching to 15-second. 15-second might just be better. Just because I can look at it and see the context immediately. But yeah, Ross said something yesterday that I thought was a really good point. and this is what I was trying to articulate, but I think he did it better, where it felt like a lot of things were moving, where we had, what was the big move yesterday? CMCT or something? Like that one was moving crazy well, but the other three stocks, and I said this in the recap, but the other three stocks just kind of died. So we have like this back and forth where some things are super hot, but the rest of the market is actually somewhat cold. So it's giving a little bit of mixed signals. I mean, it's good to see that we're seeing 100% moves, but whenever you see everything else just being mediocre or just failing, it's not actually that reassuring. And yeah, today looks like it may just be a slower day. Yeah, I think I'm going to try the 15 second. The 15 second feels a little bit more natural. I feel like I'm too zoomed in with the 5 second. 10 second would probably be a nice middle ground, but Webull doesn't seem to offer that. It's kind of just churning right now. If we got up to 240 and actually held here, right? Because we saw this nice pop up here, but then we had this candle wick topping tail, and it just kind of sold off. We had huge selling pressure here too. Interesting how we didn't have much volume on this part, but then the volume came in here pretty heavily. KRRO. Ooh, dang. What the heck happened with this thing? I'll keep MGRX on the side chart here. So what happened here? So this one just had a huge gap down. If I go to the 5 minute here. All right, this thing gapped down from 31 all the way down to $5-6. Must be like a must be like a biotech that just failed horrendously. When did this happen? This happened after average yesterday. Okay, so someone resigned, and it was also third quarter, or second quarter, third quarter. Okay, third quarter. This is just 2 and 3. So they probably had a really, really crappy quarter. Looks like someone resigned, chief medical officer. And yeah, it's bio. So it looks like the biotech company probably just had a really terrible result. People were resigning. So, pretty terrible, but is it worth being down? Because how much is it down? It's probably down a ton. Like 76%, that's quite dramatic. Unfortunately, I'm wondering if it's a bit too late to try and get involved. Because it's already had some bounce attempts. Right, because I've been trying to fiddle around with this a bit in the past, and I've had neutral results at best. Good call out on this one. I'll keep this one on watch at least. But I don't know if I want to really chase at these levels. NVVE is also moving, but it's a bit cheaper. So just want to throw that one out there. Yeah, this is actually holding up somewhat well. float isn't terribly high on it either. So this thing has potential, right? And we're not really going to see serious resistance till around 260s. So we've got a little room to get there. SGBX also looks like it's on a bit of a decline as well right now. So our two real movers that we had, MGRX is kind of going sideways. It's holding up decently, but SGBX is kind of trading near the lows, at least of the current pop. This still feels like the best setup at the moment. I mean, we're curling, but it's still on such light volume. So we saw it crack right above this previous resistance on low volume. Then right as it broke above, we had high volume come in. Now we're seeing a bit of a pullback. Not super high volume, 16,000. But again, that's only for 15 seconds. I got to get in this mindset too. These volume candles are only for 15 seconds. They're not for bigger moves. TRUG is also somewhat moving. Is there news on this? Not really. Volume looks low on the bar, but they're 300K. Well, I mean, I'm looking at the 15-second chart, though, right? Like, if I go to the 1 minute... I need to change this one, too, because this one's showing the blue bars. I don't have it set up the same as this. How do I do that? I think I have to go to turn off overlap volume. I think that does it. Yeah. Appearance. Change this to white. There we go. Okay, so now I can see this. No, you're right. Yeah, we're seeing around 300,000 on some of these higher ones. So even though the 15 seconds aren't that high, you're right. So this might just be something I need to get more used to. Right, you got like 16,000, 15 seconds, but times 4, that's 64,000 a minute on these ones. And then on these ones, you're going to have much higher, right? 70,000 in 15 seconds. No, you're right. Yeah, that's just something I got to get more used to. So we saw it come up here, kind of contested. Bit of high volume. Price came down a bit. Volume was a bit lower. Price hesitated here. Volume picked up. So we're kind of seeing this stair-stepping pattern. I'm just not sure if I trust it. thinking of a lot of times last week where we saw this similar kind of thing where price was just slowly grinding higher and then we just see a massive rug. Like we had that happen several times last week. And I'm just kind of getting flashbacks to that. This candle had even higher volume. A lot of contention here, 240s. Okay, this looks like it's pulling away more now, right? 500,000 on the last candle. Very high volume in the short term here. $99,000 in just this. Seems like there's a bit of a wall around this 264. We saw super high volume on this candle. And it rejected there, but it's still holding near this high. It is worth it. This is daily resistance too, around 264, 265. So this is daily resistance. Yeah, see that? We had some candles that were over 1 million. Yeah, getting some volume coming through here. There's quite a bit on this dump. I don't know why, but it just feels like this is moving up much slower than I would expect for such high volume. Like the float the float's pretty low for us to be having 1 minute candles with 1 million volume. This just feels very choppy to me. So we're getting these random spikes down too, so it looks like someone's definitely selling. But we are getting these pops too, right? This candle also had a pop up. It's showing red, but it did pop up before giving back. So we're seeing some pops up from the lows here. Maybe indicating that this isn't entirely dead. Not sure though. The fact that the volume's still very high on these candles isn't really reassuring either. We are past the half hour, so in the next minute or two, we'll see if any headlines come out. That could be part of the reason why this sold off too. This was right at the half hour. So if there isn't any really interesting catalysts, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this actually curl back up. It's just kind of trending down. Volume's very light though. I'm actually going to get in here. So my argument is we've seen this bouncing several times. Even on these last 3-minute candles, we've been seeing it bounce and the volume's been lower. We haven't seen anything on the scanners for the half hour. That might reinvigorate people to get back in this. That's my argument anyway. We'll see if it does it. Ooh. Looks like I might be getting a big loss here. How much was this? 50K. I didn't know they had new Lightspeed software. Trader Pro. Cosmetic changes. I'll look into it. No, I'm long biased, but I mean in this market, maybe even being short biased makes more sense. No, I thought this had a good chance of curling, but it looks like I might just be wrong. Gonna get out at 230. I don't know. I really thought it would bounce, seeing as how much it was showing these bottoming wicks. This one was a bottom wick before the close of the minute. Then we had these three, combined with the lack of clear movement. I thought it would resolve better. Yeah, I saw NVVE moving, but it was a cheaper stock, so I didn't really want to get involved with it. Yeah, this one, though, it's just... For the volume it's getting... We've seen this with a lot of stocks the last week, too, where just... The float has been lower. We're getting massive volume. Like, because the 1 minute candles are super high volume. But we're just not seeing that actual follow through. And we've actually been seeing a lot of this happen where it, like, just slowly grinds up and then we see these big drops. So, I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel like it's an easy market, even though we've had some really hot stocks the last few days. Feels like it's very hit or miss. There might have been a hidden buyer at 230, by the way, because it pressured that a lot, and I'm not really seeing anything on the bid, but it was holding up there. Give it like a B plus. Yeah, SGBX, the other mover that was on watch earlier, right, it's breaking down here. So the two 7 o'clock movers aren't really holding up at all. I mean, MGRX, we had like a bit of a move, but it was much slower. Right, this is a very slow grind. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to get involved with this. The problem is, it's like, I can't even use volume as confirmation right now because the volume is like non-existent. And we've seen it already go from high volume to just rolling over on lower volume. You thought the end of the government shutdown would have a positive impact? Yeah, no, I get it. It could just be some other context too, where we're just not seeing a lot of companies putting out good headlines. Or just companies aren't having great results right now. Because, I mean, I'm thinking even with the government shutdown, right? The SPY has just been going crazy. So I can't really say that the overall market sentiment is really what drove the coldness. I just really think we're in a period where there's not enough hype. I don't really think it has anything to do with the government shutdown per se. That's just my take, though. I'm still not going to touch it because it's way too cheap, but TNMG looks like it's making a sizable move. It's a penny stock, though. Looks like it's up around 30% or something. And then today, we're not really seeing any stocks up 100% or gapping up 100% anyway. And the two that did move, both of them are struggling. Right? SGBX from 7 a.m., it's just sold off the entire time. No one's buying it. I'm doing something similar to you. I started a 4K account to try out morning shorting. I trade normally only long during market hours, but yeah, I'm trying out some pre-market trading to experiment. I mean, it's hard because I've shorted a couple times. I've actually made some good money shorting. The problem is that I mean, shorting, just the exposure to the unlimited potential downside risk is really scary. If you think especially because like you need to have margin leverage to be able to even trade that way. So, fortunately, a lot of these stocks, they'll restrict you from just doing 4x leverage shorting, just because of the risk. But yeah, I would definitely say if you're going to try shorting, I personally would do it with a smaller account. I mean, 4,000 is not that much anyway, but yeah, I really would be careful if you're experimenting, because I mean, you're playing with fire, you know. But yeah, in this market, like, sure, there are a lot of stocks that we've had in the last maybe 5 days that have gone up a lot, but a lot of stocks are still rolling over too. I can totally understand why you would want to short in this market. And you look at the two top stocks today, they're both just trending down. I started 5 weeks ago. My 4K count got sewn to 3,500. And now I got back to 4,200. So yeah, there's a learning curve. The odds are good. Well, the odds are good until they're not. Right? I definitely wouldn't do it during market hours because there's the small chance that you could get stuck in a hold up. And then, like, the thing, for all you know, just gaps up like 50% or 100%. I mean, it's unlikely, but it's definitely, I've seen it happen a couple times. Yeah, pre-market's ironically probably safer for shorting. In some ways. Yeah, this is crazy, dude. This thing's just like bleeding down. I think about all the people that would have bought this up towards the top two, if anyone was still holding this, right? If you bought like 260s and then just held it this whole time, you'd be down like, what, 20%, 25%? Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is just a market to be more patient, I guess. Which is very frustrating too, right? Because, I mean, we just had like 3 minutes, or not 3 minutes, we had like 3 weeks of a super cold market. And now we're seeing like this mix where some stocks are going up 100% and everything else just sucks. Yeah, glad you got out. Yeah. I mean, I felt bad. I felt bad for selling here, right? I'm like, man, look at me selling way down here, and then it just dies. Like in a hot market, I could probably get stubborn and hold, and I'd get bailed out for a break even or a small loss. But in this kind of market, holding and praying just gets you killed. Yeah, you shorted the all wins. Yeah, no, yeah. Yesterday, if as long as you didn't short the big stock moving, everything was just completely dying. Like what was it? Pull it up here. BGLC, right? I traded this one. Like, look what this one did, right? You see it pop up. I want to do the 5-day just so you can see better context. But like, look what this one did, right? It's like sideways. News comes out. Not only does it revert back, this was like neutral news, by the way. And not only does it revert back, but then it just like super dies. Like, bears are super aggressive, even though we're seeing some stocks going up 100%. If there's even some weakness, the bears are just piling on it. So we're seeing a mix of like this. It's a very weird mix. Some enthusiasm, but it's very focused. Like even with MRGX, like I'm MGRX. I'm half tempted to like try and take a position here for a bounce because this thing's kind of gone down, like straight down. We haven't really had any. This was like the only real bounce we had here. This was barely even a bounce. But I lack the conviction to buy it. We're just seeing things roll over, not only back to break even, but we're seeing them go red on the day. Like, I would not be at all surprised if this ends up going red on the day. A lack of traders. Therefore, everyone trades one thing. No, I would disagree. If there was a lack of traders, you wouldn't be seeing such a huge disparity between stocks moving 100% and stocks moving like this. To me, it seems more like people found a trend and bears are getting out of the way for that trend, but they're still continuing to pile on everything else. I mean, the fact that we're seeing, like, I'll just go back to the 1 minute on this. The fact we're seeing this stock get over 1 million shares of volume, that tells me that there is a lot of traders buying and selling. That gives me conviction. There are people here. It's just that the imbalance is not so insane to where we can see stocks moving up. That's my interpretation, anyway. Right, because if you got a stock that only has 3 million shares outstanding, and you're getting 1 million volume per minute, this thing should not be only moving like 5 cents, 3 cents a minute. Unless there's relative balance and for all of the momentum, there's bears willing to step up. But yeah, this, at least lately, this has been a shorter's market. Shorter's market. And yeah, it's been difficult. It has. And on Monday, I tried stepping up to the plate hard. I think it was the right approach. It's just my timing was wrong, and because my size was much higher on that trade, because I was swinging so aggressively, I was wrong, and I got hit because of it. But yeah, we got 5 minutes till the top of the hour. We'll see if any new news comes out. Worth noting, too, right? I was saying maybe we would hold around this 240s level and try and creep back up if we saw no news on other stocks. To my knowledge, there's no other stocks that are pumping right now on news at the half hour. But despite that, we saw this rollover. Very interesting to see that. By the way, remember I was saying how tempting it was to buy here at 209. And now here we are, pushing $2. Yeah, it's pressuring $2 pretty hard. Yeah, I've seen a ton of pennies moving on the scanner. Usually I don't see this many, but I've seen a ton of them, like NVVE, we had TNMG. I think there was one other one too. Yeah, I've seen pennies moving. The last week, I'd say, I've seen a lot of pennies moving. But because I'm trading a commission broker, I just can't really afford to trade them. You can only really make money on them if you're right. Like, very right. Yeah, this could be bouncing off the $2 level. I don't really trust it. This thing already burned me once, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like the momentum's dead on it. I would rather much just look for a new stock to touch. So this is only showing one. Okay, so I have to adjust this now. Yeah, I was changing some of the window positionings to fit this new chart in. Okay, there we go. That way you can actually see how much I bought. What scanner do you use? I'm using Thinkorswim. They have customizable ones you can use for free. Cannot see your realized gains. Oh, yeah, good point. Yep. It's down 16. There we go. I'm actually going to just place an order here just because I want to check this. I'll do it way below. Looks like this one's showing up fine. But yeah, I use the Thinkorswim scanners. I also use the, they have a news feed, so this is pretty reliable. I've seen a couple times where the news won't get reported right away. It'll be a few minutes delayed. I've actually had someone point out the other day to me about that, because I don't see the news, but the stock's moving, so I assume it's a no move catalyst. And then like 4 minutes later, it populates, but I don't see that. So someone has to point it out. So I keep having to like double check. So if I ever see something moving without news, I keep having to remind myself to just double check it a couple times in case it comes in late. This is cool. Glad I found your yeah, this is cool. Glad I found your channel. I'll be here every morning for a while and call out the runners on my shorts for fun. I mean, hey, the more the merrier. Yeah, right now while the market's cold. Oh, actually, we got a big spike here. Oh, that's just 8 o'clock reporting. But yeah, no. By all means, the more the merrier. I'm just really looking to find people to talk to, have a good time with while I'm trading. And it's pretty boring right now. Like, being a bull right now is pretty depressing, I'm not gonna lie. It's difficult. Saw a huge spike of volume here, but a lot of this is just late reporting, so it's very hard to know what's actually accurate. LFS 2 days ago was nuts. Man, that just kept running all day. Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to be careful of too with shorting, right? Something that goes up like 1,000%. Got to be willing to cut it. $2 to 19. Yeah, it's about 10%. Yeah, or not 10. That's about 1,000%. A little less. Now that's the main reason I decided not to short. I remember I had a nice short on HKD, Chinese stock. It did a monster move. It went up from like $10 to like 1,000 or something crazy. It was over 1,000, I think. And I took an extremely small short position, just like 5 shares, and I was able to write it down for a couple $100. But yeah, just shorting in general, I feel like just the risk is exceptionally high, especially if you're going to do it on penny stocks with low floats. I didn't feel like it was for me. I made a good bit of money from it, and I decided that it felt very close to degenerate gambling for me. Too close for me to really enjoy it. I felt like my risk was very unmanaged too. It's very hard to manage risk on something that has unlimited loss potential. ONDS is moving. Does look like we have news as well. Okay, so it looks like just earnings. Float's a bit higher. Same here, thanks to YouTube algorithm, which brought your channel to me. No, I mean, I'm happy that I've gotten more exposure, but the reality is, I think, until I can actually show results, because, I mean, I'll be honest, you can actually look at my channel. Before I started the challenge, I was actually doing well. Like, we were in the midst of a hot market. I had several days where I was getting over $100 a day. I had one crazy nice day, too, where I got, like, over 200. But it's just been brutal. I feel terrible. Like, I just feel like I've been doing a crappy job. For you, it's all a numbers game. So I don't go for big wins. It's all about the small trades. Yeah, I mean, if you can manage, like, to me too, I almost wonder if, like, shorting the best strategy is like, if you're in profit, just hold. Just as long as you are in profit, just hold. It'll come back down. The only time you bail is when it goes against you and you aren't, like, at the top or near the highs, because that's when you risk really getting squeezed out. Or it could be like, whenever the price is going down, you take half profit and then you hold, and then you actually go for a longer term hold. Yeah, I don't know if I trust getting in this. Just the total shares is a lot higher. Right. I mean, it says 93 million here, but on Thinkorswim it says 368 million. I don't know which one's right. THAR, I'll check it out. Yeah, good call on THAR. I didn't see this one on the scanner. Not sure why this one didn't show up yet. Oh, it's because the volume's too low, that's why. Yeah, so this is very low volume. It's a bit of a spread. I'm gonna get in here. Give it a shot. Looks like there were some buyers stepping in there. I'm gonna add. This looks like it's gonna break out. Okay, so there was a 10,000 share seller that absorbed it here. It did get all bought up though. There's a 10,000 share buyer. I was really struggling to break 70. I feel like if 70 breaks, it's gonna run. Tried to sell half there. That was kind of a weaker break. Give it some time now. Now it's running a bit more. Okay, sold half there. Still holding half. I'd like to see a return to high. Okay, it's struggling at 80. Sold another half. I'm still holding 1/4. Still want to try and see that attempt to push up to highs. Yeah, it just was really struggling to pull away there. I'm cutting it there. So there was good buying pressure here. I was seeing a ton of buying pressure after my first initial position. So I thought that was grounds to add because it was holding at my level. So I added, and then when I saw us testing 70, and I was seeing massive buying going through at 70. I thought if 70 broke, I thought we would see a return to high. So as we squeezed up and we were really struggling around this 380 level, that started to make me worried we weren't going to get that resolution. So you saw I took half off, then I took another quarter off, and then the last quarter just kind of rolled over. Audio cutting in and out. Is anyone else noticing that, or is it just AW? Does anyone else notice my audio cutting out? Hmm. All right, fine. Problem with selling like in 3 different batches, it's hard to calculate what my buy and sell prices were. Audio's fine. No problem with the audio. Just you. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure because we had an issue earlier where my mic wasn't plugged in. Or rather, it was plugged in. It's just for whatever reason I had an update, and for some reason I needed to replug in the mic, even though it was plugged in. It was turned off, so I just had to plug it in. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't on my end. Okay, so we're 1-1 now. Basically a max loss trade and a pretty nice winner. Best case for this trade probably would have been like a $40 winner. I still captured about half of it though. Yeah, and I can't believe like I'm just looking at how this is failing. It's like this is like I see the pressure coming in. There was clear buying pressure, but it just ran out of steam. This is another thing too. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I've noticed, tell me if anyone else has noticed this. A lot of stocks that are coming up on the scanner, like that are not the 100% gainers, right? A lot of stocks aren't even making a new high, right? They're curling, but they never hit that initial high. I've noticed this over and over. This has been very common. Maybe that's something I should keep in mind, at least for the short term. Just that stocks are not resolving well. Just had to restart your stream. Well, that's good at least. Glad that everything's going good on my end, at least. And hey, at least you got it fixed. But yeah, I mean, only 2 trades by basically 2/3 of the stream. That's slower day again. It'll pick up again eventually. this thing's just... I'm going to take a half size there for a bounce play. This volume was a bit lighter on this breakdown. Maybe even add. Yeah, I'm gonna add there. I think I'm gonna keep it at 100 though. I don't want to go higher than that. No, these two candles in particular had very low volume on that breakdown. It's a bit overblown. Probably just try to aim for 29. So the highest was 26 on this, right? Well, I mean, it went up to 29, but I think the highest bid was at 26. So we had 25 on the bid that time. Gonna sell half at 29 now. If this does go back to 29, I feel like it goes a bit higher. Problem is the volume's dried up now. The bounce didn't really happen in the way I wanted it to. Took half off there. Just reducing the risk a bit. It feels like there was a wall at 29. Oh, we're having another push up. A small winner. This did end up curling, but it did it so much slower than I wanted it to. I thought with this kind of overreaction, we would see that slingshot. I've noticed that too with even my falling knife setups. When a stock oversells, it's not just immediately recovering a lot. We're seeing this like slow grind. Like shorts aren't aggressively trying to recover. These things aren't sorted by time. There we go. Other way. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so small winner on that third trade. It was just taking too long to curl. I was getting afraid that there was a hidden seller at 29. The price did end up dropping back down too, so I don't even think I made a bad decision. We got 6 minutes till the half hour, and we'll see if anything comes out. Or news. Till then, just gotta be patient. Hope you're all trading safe today. Seems like it's a... I don't even want to say just a slow day, but also a difficult day. You think of the stocks we've been looking at. THAR, right? We had this thing just kind of fail. Maybe some longs were getting trapped here. What else do we have? MGRX. This one was also pretty rough. We're recovering a bit. We had this pretty long, exaggerated sell-off that lasted a while. We had SGBX. And ever since 7 o'clock, this thing has just sold off. It's kind of trading sideways now, but not really doing anything impressive. Yeah, we're just not really having any stocks that are moving that great. Yeah. Okay, so THAR, you were saying. But yeah, I had shorted THAR at 380 and covered at 345, but now it's at 320. So those percentages are awesome. It's hard to resist shorting when you get those types of percentages. No, yeah, it's insane. It's twofold, right? First of all, the stocks are typically not going to new highs. And second of all, when they are retracing, we're seeing it sometimes happening where they're actually going below the previous day's price, right? That just tells me that you're seeing more shorting than buying, right? Because you figure this spiked up because people bought. Shorts were so aggressive, they pushed it down, and then the longs were having to cover like down here below the previous close. And that just shows the imbalance of buyers versus short sellers right now. PTIX. I don't see that one on my scanners. Wow. Okay, so yeah, just had no volume, that's why. Yeah, the volume was lighter. I believe this one's a low float. Yeah, only 500,000. It did have news at 8, but it just didn't actually move at 8. Oddly enough, it waited until like 8:26 to do anything. Yeah, I saw ONDS, but it's a much higher float, so I didn't touch it. Right after, I can pull it up. Yeah, after the first 3 minutes, it just kind of started to slow down. CHAI. Okay, good call. Yeah, it just popped up on my scanners here. Okay, so looks like a super low flow. Well, Thinkorswim's saying it's 20 million, so this might have been diluted recently. Just looking at the yearly chart at the bottom. This looks like a death spiral stock. Has some pops, but it rolls over a lot. There was news. Announces $5 billion global AI data center initiative. Decent volume. With how stocks are performing today, though, I'm like really afraid to get in this. Is this a Chinese stock? I can't remember. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not sure if I trust this. It doesn't look terrible. right now I'm like not super bearish on this. It's holding up okay. The volume's also somewhat decent. My biggest fear is just that it seems like stocks are rolling over a lot today. Big volume came through right there. Right at the end of that minute. If this does break down, I'm looking at mid 340s for an entry. That might sound ambitious, but if this is a lower float, it could push down that hard. That just looks like daily support. I don't know if I want to go long on this. Like we could see a 1 minute high and breakout. We already had a failed 1 minute high here, so it's still struggling. Right, if we saw another 1 minute high, that'd be a little more bullish, but I don't know. Like, going long here doesn't look terrible. I'm just so afraid this thing is going to roll over hard, though. Yeah, Canadian. I don't mind if it's Canadian. I just don't want it to be a Chinese stock. Oh man, just seeing how much they've been... Some of the Chinese stocks lately have just been dumping so hard. Okay, we're seeing a bit of a breakdown. In the news, it says they don't have the money to build the project. Yeah, very heavy insider trading. Yeah, a lot of the Chinese stocks. Well, I don't even know if it's necessarily insider trading. More so just very, very aggressive dilution from the companies. Like they'll pay someone to sell for them. Only two holders, insiders. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're definitely, at least with Chinese stocks, there's definitely a higher amount of insider trading if I had to just take a guess. Right, it's probably less regulated in that sense. No corporate or funds holding this. Yeah, I mean, if you figure too, this thing is a death spiral stock, right? Like this thing just, I don't know if this was a reverse split or what, but this thing just kind of just sells into oblivion. Right? Going from $19 down to $3 in, what is this, a couple months? 5 months? Not really what you want to see from a stock. OTLK. Okay, OTLK looks like a more interesting setup. There was news. Okay, news catalyst. Very high volume spike here from this volume. Shares outstanding is a bit higher on this one, though. CHAI does look like it's going lower too, by the way. I know I don't have it pulled up, but it's gone down to basically the close of the previous day, roughly. All right, just to jump back to CHAI here. I don't really think this is a great bounce opportunity. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. I don't think it's that good, actually. The last two closed candles are higher volume. Not the best setup. And OTLK, similar story. We're seeing it like try and curl. Hasn't quite hit the highs. And if this thing just rolls back over, it's just gonna be another data point. Yeah, we're just seeing a lot of stocks just rolling over. I think we're like, of the stocks I've had on watch, I think we're 4 for 4 for stocks that have rolled over. So nothing has held up. Man, maybe shorting isn't so bad. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on OTLK and CHAI just to see how they resolve. I don't really know if I want to participate in either of them, though. CHAI is better from just a shares outstanding versus volume perspective, but OTLK is it's a higher float. AEON, like, the volume's so light on it. There was news, though. And we're seeing volume pick up. This could turn into something. Shares outstanding is a bit higher, though. Good stuff, flip-flop. Yeah, the CHAI gave back the entire move. Yeah, it's definitely difficult to be a bull in this kind of market. Feel like I'm really just in survival mode right now. Man, CHAI is really just dying. Yeah, AEON ended up rolling over too. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. A lot of times I look at these headlines. It really just kind of annoys me too when I see them spamming AI for just something completely unrelated. Right? Like someone's making a milk company or something and they're like, "We're using AI in our milk company." Like, what are you using the AI for? The cows? Like or they talk about Bitcoin investments and it's like, I don't know, just some random thing that's completely unrelated to Bitcoin. Okay, SLRX. What is this? Okay, it looks like we might have something here. Okay, news came out, 8:45. Okay, just a completed merger. Not really a big news catalyst. So this stock's been completely just getting obliterated the last week. Right, even now on this little pop, this is still very much in the red. I'll go ahead and use this one. I keep forgetting my face is covering it. But yeah, this one's just been getting obliterated. And even now, it's like still relatively at the lows. Could be some decent retracement opportunities. The float is very low on this. Take a starter there. It's a nice dip entry. Volume's a bit high though, so I'm not really sure how well this will resolve. I do like the very low float. And this held up decently on this breakdown. We could see some kind of curl here. Looks like my entry actually might have been very good. Probably just aiming for 129. Well, no, that's actually... I can aim for a little more. Let's sell half at 129. Sell the other half at 134. Alright, struggling a little bit. I'm just going to cut it there. Yeah, this one looked like it was holding well. Yeah, and I would have hit. But this one looked like it was holding a lot better. I liked the low float, the fact that this was well oversold, and the news catalyst. This looked decent. My entry was also exceptionally good here. $13 till 9. After 9, I have to switch over to my regular accounts and start to prep for my normal day. But I'll be back tomorrow to play with you guys again. Hey man, stop by anytime. I mean, I enjoy the company. I don't talk as much whenever I'm trading a lot. But right now, it's just like, there's barely any trades, so there's not a lot really... there's not really a lot for me to focus on. Like... Yeah, whenever I'm in a trade, I might only make small remarks, but I'm not really looking at the chat as much. But like right now there's barely anything going on, so there's no harm in it. And even when it does get hot, I mean, by all means, stop by, post your trades. I'll take a look at them when I see them. We can talk about how the market is right now, how unbelievably bearish it is. But no, I mean, the fact that we've seen a lot of stocks failing, and I'm up almost $20 today, I really got to just be thankful for that. I am glad I sold here. Like, I saw that we were struggling at 132 for a while, and I gave it like 15 seconds and it wasn't breaking. So I sold for, like, what was it, a 10-cent profit. We did end up getting a quick squeeze up another 3 cents before just rolling over. So, honestly, no, I think that trade in particular was pretty well executed. My entry and exit. My entry was very precise. My exit was not quite as good, but still also not terrible. But yeah, we got 8 minutes till the top of the hour. I'm wondering if I should just call it here. Still looks bullish. We got a clear wedge pattern here. Historically, this stock does occasionally make huge spikes. Yeah, I see what you mean, TNMG. I can pull it up real quick here. Yeah, this stock, I looked at it earlier whenever we were first seeing it do this, but it was at like 40 cents or something. So I was looking at it around here, but I mean, 40-cent stock, I can't really afford to buy that. It's too cheap. But yeah, it's just been grinding higher all morning. Very impressive. What is this? This is like a 300% return? Let me just check here. It says 170, but like I was looking at the low, I guess. But yeah, still very solid result. CMND. So another penny stock move in here, CNMD. Again, too cheap for me to be in it. But looks like we're having another penny stock moving. Honestly, it's about that time. We're about to hit 9 o'clock, so I think I'm just going to call it today. 1956 for the day. Solid, decent return. Should be thankful for it too. A lot of stocks are not holding up well. The fact that I'm even green, I should be grateful. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. I'll do the recap later. Thank you all for watching, and I will be back tomorrow morning. Stay safe.